Hi guys. How are you? Gina Brogan here. Just waiting for 3 o'clock when my little man is coming out of school. I just finished a coaching call. And so really, you guys, this is the dream that I have been working toward and living toward and doing, manifesting. And hello, Catherine. How are you? Hello, Megan. Hi. Oh my gosh. I know. Well, you're Cabo bound. Thank you so much. I want to be, do you know, well, I want to go to Cabo. That's where my aunt is living right now. We used to have property there, and I want to go back. Anyway, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Because I have my headphones in. I took them out. Can you hear me now? Hi, everybody. So anyway, I'm going to talk to you about manifesting, and part of the process is actually believing it's true. Believing you get to do it. How do you get to that place where you believe it? You believe that you get to live your dream life, or attract that dream partner, or earn that dream income, or whatever it is you want. Live that healthy dream life that you desire so badly. Well, it happens the moment you believe it. The moment you go, yes, this is it. I actually do get to do this. I deserve it. I blah, blah, blah. And one of the things that people are so hung up on when they talk about deserving is like that they've earned it, or they worked hard enough for it. And I would love to help you let go of that need to work hard and to force something versus allowing. I'm gonna do sunglasses here. The sun's like going in between the trees and stuff. So sometimes it's sunny, and sometimes it's bright, and sometimes it's shady. So the moment you believe it, the moment you say, oh, I am worthy of this situation, is the moment it becomes yours, and it's real in energetic potential. And then shortly thereafter, it becomes real in reality, IRL, in real life, in your manifested daily living. Now, how do you get to that place of believing? That is sometimes the biggest obstacle for some people. They can say the affirmations and use the words and say, yes, I am living this life, or yes, I earned this much money, or I travel freely, and la la la. But using, just saying the words isn't necessarily going to give you that feeling in your body. So when you can feel it in your body, when you can be her now, meaning you walk in the shoes of that woman who already feels, already is that person who's living that life. How do you do that? Well, for some people, it happens quickly. It's just one shift. For some people, it's an incremental, constant, daily, multiple times a day shift. And for me, to get to this point, it was, a couple of years of like having this desire. And I got this desire out of contrast. So the contrast was I hated the fact that I had to be sitting at a desk in an office and not out here outside my son's school waiting to pick him up. That was painful for me. That was painful for me that my son had to walk home, and that they had to be home alone for a couple of hours before I could be home and bringing them food and dinner and having our lives together and checking on their homework. And that, out of that pain, bore a desire, and a desire that became so deep inside of me that I was not going to not have it become my reality. So if you have a desire, and it's yeah, I think I'd like to do this thing, versus I am, this has to happen kind of desire, then when it becomes that I must live this life, that's when it can be really, really strong and very powerful. So I got to that point where it was so painful and uncomfortable living a certain way that I knew I had to live a different way. And that's when I was led to the pathway. I was led down this pathway. Synchronicities, opportunities, experiences, people came before me, and I could not have directed the path. I could not have said this and this and this is going to happen to make this come true. All I had to do was know that I wanted it so deeply and so badly that it was going to happen, and I started to take action. So when I talk about manifesting, I talk about spiritual manifestation in a practical world, because as much as we are spiritual beings and energy is what drives us forward, and is our energy, our emotional set point is the point at which we attract, okay? So I had to learn how to get into that emotional high vibration state to truly believe this is who I am. And I started to take the steps to get to that state. Those steps involved like me getting Reiki certified, me learning how to meditate, me learning how to raise my standards for my own self-care, raise my standards for my partnerships, my relationships, my friends. So I had to, it was a process for me. And slowly over time, I believed more and more, bit by bit, by taking the action steps, getting the feedback, connecting with that version of me so much and so closely that I started to live like that version of me. And that version of me took over the old version of me, the version of me that was scared, fearful, didn't believe. And so it was an incremental upgrading into stepping into that woman's life and that woman's skin. And this woman is who I am now. And so this woman, this version of Gina, while amazing, while doing amazing things that I never thought before I wouldn't have believed was possible, is now manifesting from this woman's, can you see? This woman's skin. And so I am actually her now. I am hosting retreats and leading these really, really powerful transformational retreats for women all over the world and literally changing lives. So I come from that perspective. And that is how I make decisions. That's how I manifest from her level, from where she's at. And now that I realize all it takes is just the belief I can live from her life and her energy all more often than this energy. Now I get pulled down to this energy. We're all human, so it's a wobble, and it's a constant shifting. It's a constant okay, wait, what was that fear thought that came up? The fear thought that if I do this thing at this level, how can I hold space for that many women? Well, if that's one of my fears, which it is, oh my God, I want to do this at this level. What if I, can't deliver or whatever? I go to my journal therapist and I say, well, is that true? Actually, it's not true. I'm already changing people's lives on really profound levels, and I just keep going to that place. I keep going to that place. And then, so how do you believe? How do you change your beliefs? Beliefs are simply thoughts that we think over and over again. So we have a lot of deep-rooted beliefs that we think are true, right? Because we may have been practicing that belief system for so much of our lives that it might take a little more practice and work to shift into a new, higher level, more serving of your higher level, next level life to change that belief, right? So I teach, right now I'm teaching how to love yourself and develop a best friend relationship with yourself so that you can attract partnerships, career relationships, connections, people in your life, friendships, soulmates, whatever you want to call them, from this place, right? So you have to address all of the beliefs that keep you practicing that I'm not worthy, that keep you practicing where you date people who don't treat you well, or where you have bad business relationships. So if you're practicing those kind of relationships patterns, how do you change and practice different relationship patterns? How do you say, well, wait, I am a woman who dates really powerfully, in tune, awake, sexy, generous, fantastic men who are going to treat me like this? Well, you just start to practice it with yourself, first of all, and you create a connection and a best friend relationship with yourself, so where you change your standards, and incrementally you change your beliefs. So what's a belief that somebody who practices low vibe dating? Well, a belief would be, there are no men who are fun and sexy and attractive and generous and wealthy and trustworthy. Like, that used to be my belief. And I started to say, well, I don't want to practice that anymore. Actually, I want to believe that I get to date all the things. I get to not only date them, I get to partner with them. I get to be married to one of those. I get to have that. That gets to be my reality. How do I get there? How have I gotten there? Well, I start to look for evidence. I start to tell myself, I change my belief system, right? So every time I say that there are no good men or whatever, I say, well, is that true? And I look for the evidence, and I go and I say, well, no, there's this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. And there are these relationships that are like relationship goals with people who I think are really amazing, fantastic, affirming, lifelong couples. They support each other. They're amazing partnerships. So I look for the evidence of what I do want, and that becomes my new normal. So how do you shift your beliefs? You start to think a different thought over and over and over. That's what affirmations do. While they can be just words and empty words, when you start to believe it and feel it in your body and practice it in your journal, get yourself to that state of, creating that symbolic scene of having that amazing relationship already, feeling it already. And one of the things that I love to teach my clients to do is like go to your relationship buffet. Another belief that we practice that keeps us in sabotage mode is, I've always made bad decisions. I've always picked poor relationships for myself. Well, you know what? That doesn't have to be true anymore. And you get to stop practicing that. You get to practice, I actually make really good decisions. And one way you can do that is like go do a relationship walk down memory lane and look for all of the things, and go to like the buffet table of your past relationships and go, oh my God, I loved how this guy did that. He treated me like a queen. I felt amazing when, or we used to do this and that felt really good. And then you can see, whoa, I've actually had some really wonderful relationships in my life. There's been some amazing experiences that I've had. And just because relationships didn't work out and didn't end up in happily ever after doesn't mean they were failures. They may have been paths, stepping stones on your journey. And if you can shift your thinking into that way of thinking, I talk to so many women who think it's too late for them. Well, if you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, I'm sorry, girl, you're just starting. You're just starting to connect with who you are and what makes you amazing. So when I hear people say that, after I'm done cringing and saying, oh, honey, no, that's not true, let's reframe that. It's amazing the power that has when we realize I am just getting started. So I love to teach this work because it is really, really fun. When we do these things and we learn to shift our beliefs, and the people who actually do this work, they really do change their beliefs by changing their thoughts. But first you have to be a gentle observer of your thoughts, right? You have to say, oh yeah, I've been practicing this self-sabotage for a long time by thinking that this is the rule I have to live by. And when you recognize those rules and you say, I'm going to not practice that anymore, and in fact I'm going to find evidence where that's not even true, I'm going to practice that, then you are really on a roll. And you can do it about all kinds of things: relationships, money, health, happiness, what you are worthy of, having a baby, building a business, freedom, living a life of freedom. I'm checking the time. You get to do this about anything and everything. I'm talking about relationships right now because that's what my topic for the month is in my Magnetic Living Mastermind group. And I can't tell you, like, here's a funny thing. This is something that's really interesting. I was practicing like energetic dips a couple of days ago. I was tired. I was a little bit rushed and harried and like, so much going on. Can't get the Wi-Fi to work and really practicing like chaos. But I had like teachings to do. I had trainings that I had scheduled, and I'm like, okay, I've got to show up already because I'm a boss lady, and if I said I'm going to show up, I'm going to show up. And I did. And I did a little like, okay, Gina, maybe you're not feeling like as high vibe as you typically are, but that's okay. Trust that what's going to come through needs to come through. And it's really funny because I did this training and I realized like that was not my favorite thing that I've ever done, but I did it and it was still amazing. However, I am getting messages from the people who have been watching it going, oh my God, I picked this out of that training and I'm doing this and I'm doing this activity and it's amazing. So I'm like, you know what? I really need to continue to practice that faith that when I show up with my good-hearted intention to change somebody's life or to give somebody some type of something that they need, a tool or some energy that they need or hope or a shift in their mindset, then that is what I'm here for. And that affirmation from, I've had several people reach out to me from that one training and saying, I really needed to hear that. That was so perfect. And hey, I need to get that book because that is speaking to me. Because I'm actually doing a training based on this work from this man that I really, really admire. I've been following him and integrating his work into my life. And he's totally like next level. So I guess my point is, when you truly believe that you are worthy of the things that you desire, and when you put into practice the work that helps you shift your beliefs, and when you recognize, well, I'm practicing this low vibration thought, but I want to practice this high vibration thought or feeling, and I want to attract from this level. I talk about your vortex. Your vortex is up here. It's all the things that you want. And when you have all the things that you want, you do the work to become an energetic match for those things, and then those things come into your life. And here's another thing to think about. This is one thing that I love the most. When you are manifesting something, there's this thing that you want, and you actually get to the point where you so believe, you so live from that energetic state of already having it, so much so that you no longer need it. That's when it really hightails itself into your life ridiculously fast and easily, effortlessly. It's really so crazy. Like, it's amazing. So how do you get to change that belief? You just recognize what you're practicing that is opposite of that belief. And you create the opposite, the belief that you want. Like, well, okay, there's no good men. Let's take that. It's the easy one. Oh, there are amazing, amazing partners all over the place who are available, who are attracted to me. You become a magnet for exactly what you want when you know what you want and you actually believe it's possible. And so this is the one I want to believe. So then you start to look for evidence for it, and you look for it all around, and you spend time practicing that vibration. And then you also, at the same time, you're becoming an energetic match for it by feeling good. How do you become an energetic match for what you want? You spend time doing things that make you feel good. So you live in joy. You're always moving toward joy. One of the things I love that Amanda Frances taught me is, how do you know the difference between like a fear thought and guidance? And she says, guidance always feels good. And so if you're moving towards something that feels good, that's your guidance. That's your joy, because joy is your compass. Your heart is here with desires planted inside of you for you to pursue those desires. And your desires are completely unique to you. So there's no accident that what you desire is in your heart. And it is your job to become an energetic match for those desires. And you do it by following your joy. So one of the things I do, one of the first things I do with my clients is say, I want you to make a joy list. What are the things that you truly love to do? And this is something, I actually made a joy list today. I took a nap, which felt amazing. And naps are really, really good. And then I was like, kind of woke up practicing a low vibe thought and some low vibe feelings. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not going to do a great job of manifesting the things that I want if I'm practicing this low vibery. So I made a joy list, and it completely shifted my energy, and it raised my vibration, and it reminded me and connected me with those things that I do want and those things that I want to do more of. Hopefully that's making sense. And then I was able to shift my fear thoughts. And I go back to my journal. I go back to, like, how do I get into the state of believing? I find the evidence for what I do want, and I create my own evidence, and I create my affirmations from there. And I keep shifting my thoughts and shifting my beliefs. Then I take inspired action, because all the time that I'm following my joy, I'm raising my vibration, and therefore I'm more connected to spirit. And then I know when I get an inspired thought or an idea or something, I know immediately, yes, this is the thing to do. Yes, make the call, put that post, do that video, write that blog, whatever. It doesn't matter. Create that package. Those are my little inspired actions for affirming that my work is needed out there, because I am changing lives every single time I show up with my full heart. I'm changing lives. So that's my truth. That is my absolute 100% belief. And so I keep getting more evidence of it, because I experimented with it, and then I got more and more evidence of it. And now I get feedback and evidence all the time in the form of people hiring me, people coming and joining my groups, people following me, people commenting, people messaging me all the time. And that creates a loop and a spiral, and it builds me up even more and affirms that belief even more. Give me some hearts if you're picking up what I'm dropping, because this is good. This is really good shit. How to change your beliefs. And when you believe it, you believe it's true, then it is true. First, it's true in energetic potential, and then the more you can act from her place, be her now, it becomes true in the real 3D world. Thank you for the hearts. Awesome. I'm glad you're getting it, because this is good shit, people. So I want to hear you. Can you give me a comment? Who's brave enough to give me some comments about what it is they wish they could believe that they haven't quite wrapped their heart and head around yet? I would love to hear. And this might be a scary thing. If you don't want to do it in this on my page, you can do it. You can PM me and say, I really want to believe that there is a mate out there just right for me. or I really want to believe that I can live that free laptop lifestyle, or I really want to believe that I can repair the relationship with my children, with my husband, with my cat, with my parents. I really want to believe that it's possible to live financially free. So who is willing to share this? Their true desire. And I'm just looking down at my computer to see what time it is. Because I'm living my truth. I'm living my dream right now. And it's funny. I really want to believe that I can lose weight. Bam! Okay, you can. You can. Let's find evidence. I love it. Thank you, brave Elizabeth. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, what you can do right now is look for evidence that there have been people who have lost weight before, right? So you can start there. And that's easy enough to find plenty of evidence around, right? And then you can go, yeah, but, so you can have more qualifiers. Yeah, but they had what? More time, more support, more whatever, fewer health issues. And then we can take each one of those limiting beliefs and say, is that really true? Is that true for me? Does it have to be true? If yes, then I want to change that truth. I want to believe. Let's change I want to believe to I believe. I am a woman who has lost weight, who's losing weight healthfully and in a way that makes me feel even better than I've ever felt before. I want to believe that I can live financially free. Yes. To make dating easier. Okay, so you're doing step 2, Elizabeth. Step 2, make a benefits list. I have all of my clients do this. Make a benefits list. What are all of the benefits of me losing weight? How will my life feel differently? How will I inspire others? How does it change the world? How does it change the world? How does it change my life if I lose weight? And I can tell you this much. Here's more magic. But I don't want to step ahead. The benefits list is powerful. That's also, when you look at your benefits list, that's the why. And when you can start with yourself and say how it improves your life or benefits your life, then you can go one circle around you and say how it benefits the people around you, the lives around you. Then you can go out further. How does it benefit your community? How does it benefit the world? And that you can get really expansive and infinite and super duper woo-woo about. You can get as woo as you want to get, because I can go super woo. But then the power behind that is so strong. So now if you can connect with how you losing weight, feeling healthier, feeling more energy, becoming more of who you want to be, you are literally changing the people's lives around you, and that ripple effect never stops. So you literally can change the world. And if you've heard me before say, I'm changing the course of history with the changes I'm making. And Robin, we can take money and say, how does money, if I am financially free, how does that benefit my life? How does it benefit my children's lives? How does it benefit my neighbors' lives, my city's lives, my community, the kids' schools' lives, the world around me? How does that impact the world around me? And if it changes your children's lives, then you've got a legacy, right? That's how I say, that's how I very quickly easily jump to changing my life is changing the course of history. So when I am doing my healing path with my own child, that is a very rocky road at this point. It's very, very like, wow. But I keep rising above because I know who I am and I know the benefits of changing my life and changing his life and how that has a legacy effect and literally changes the course of history. Then that why became really powerful. So I am so connected to my why, and when you're connected to your why and you know why you're doing it, that desire becomes extremely potent. And when your desire is potent, you cannot be stopped. There is a reason I'm sitting here on the grass right now in front of my kids' school, and I'm not sitting behind a desk making money for my boss or making his life easier. And because I have such a powerful why. My why is to change women's lives around the world, because when they change their lives, they change their kids' lives, and that changes the course of history. Enough said. I don't even have to go into all the other ripple effects, because that's just more words. I just want to cut to it. And so I'm operating from this place where when you come to my retreat, we're doing such deep and powerful transformational work, you're not leaving the same person. You also have made lifelong connections with some of the people, and you're just no longer the same person. When you work with me and my coaching, you do not enter into coaching with me with like some little bit of like, oh yeah, I think I'm into this. You enter with a powerful why, and you leave completely transformed. And it's the people who are really ready for that next level way of living, where they believe things that they cannot see yet, but they trust the process. That is the woman who's working with me. And I'm already collecting the evidence right now, because I'm changing women's lives right now, not even in my, without the retreats. I'm doing it digitally with women I've never met in person. And now I have relationships with people who are like, oh my God, I can't believe how my life has changed, because I decided to step up for myself. I decided to say, this needs to change now. And they're raising their standards, and they're asking for more, and they're getting it. And they're saying, oh my God, I can't believe I no longer have to live this small life. I get to be me. I don't have to be afraid anymore. This is amazing. So, Elizabeth, yeah, you absolutely can do that. Because I made it up. I made up the benefits list. Because I needed to know, I needed a way to make it powerful and for me to connect with my why. And when I came up with this, it's like, oh, this is bigger than me. And it helped me get really strong clarity, the benefits list. And the other thing the benefits list does, and this is powerful too, is it tells you what you're kind of like, yeah, that would be nice, but I don't really think that it's that big of a deal. So you can kind of be really clear about things that you need to do and things that are like, I'm not really feeling it. And then you're not wasting as much time. You're getting super clear on you're cutting to the chase. So the benefits lists are really powerful. You can do it around anything and everything that you're manifesting. A puppy, a house, there's this home I'm manifesting. And I can tell you that when I get behind the benefits of this home becoming mine, this is not even, I wasn't even looking for a home, and then I stumbled into this home, and I literally just started vibrating and freaking the freak out. I'm like, this has to happen in my life, because I have this bigger vision of these retreats. And these retreats, there's the space that I'm looking for has a certain vibration, feel, physical space, and all this stuff. And I just walked into it. This happened on Monday. I just walked into this place, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't really working for a house, but this is the house that I wasn't even looking for, but it was in here in energetic potential. And like, I have no idea how I'm going to get this house, but I feel like I am. And if it's not this house, it's a better house. This house was just evidence that the house exists. Does that make sense? So I'm open. And it was like, wow, that was a big, giant, powerful moment in my life. So there's another thing you can do after the benefits list. Oh, wait, time out. I'll talk about that another time. I will talk about the divine petition, because that's powerful. So the benefits list will help you get super duper clear about what's important to you and why. When you have a clear why, that's what you need. So when you're manifesting anything, you need to know what you want very clearly and why you want it. The how takes care of itself. You do not have to map it out. You don't have to work it out. You don't have to be painful. In the feminine energetic manifestation model that I work, I live, I trust, I teach, you do not have to go and map out every single step of the way. We don't force things. We allow ourselves to receive, because we know we are born worthy. because you are here, you have a desire, a dream in your heart, that's all you need. And when you connect with that and you raise your vibration and you live from that place, that's who you become. Make sense? Hey Jackie, how I found you speaking right now, man, do I ever think like you. Peace out, girlfriend. That's right. Hashtag speaking the same language. Yeah. So I'm glad you found me and we're speaking the same language, because here's the other thing. Not everybody speaks this language, because I can tell you what, a lot of people, when they hear me, they're like, oh, watch out for Gina. She might try and like read oracle cards for you. And boy, it took a while for me to actually step into this person who I am and talk about this stuff publicly. Like, who does this? Well, I do, and actually I have a lot of people now in my life who get it, who speak the same language both in the digital world and in my real life, which is super duper fun. I talked about that yesterday in my live stream about, like, my girlfriend just called me and told me how she manifested this stuff. Oh, and then the guy that I see, he called me last week and he's like, oh my God, I manifested this crazy thing. And I'm like, I love that you just said that you manifest. You're such a hunk of burning love. Anyway, women are rising. We so are. Thank you, Jeannie. I love reading cards. Okay, so in the interest of time, I'm going to read one card for this call, this live stream. I'm going to read one card, and this card is going to be what we all need to hear, right now. Because, you know, when I'm feeling the high vibes, I'm feeling them. And I know what it feels like, and I hope you know what it feels like when you are at that higher emotional set point versus when you're not, and how to make those shifts. And who you need to connect with. Because there are angels in earthbound form that come into your life at the right moment. Jeannie Fritch, I think you know whose angel you were today. I needed your phone call today, and I really appreciated it. Okay, exchanging gifts. This is amazing. So this is our card for today, exchanging gifts. And here's what it says. This is a beautiful card because of all the things. What's our time? Oh, it's time to go get my baby. So sick of the mediocrity, right? Oh yeah, turn off your TV. Turn off your TV. And yeah, oh, don't even get me started, that whole other topic. Okay, the Oracle's message. You're entering into a productive and enriching time when all manner of opportunities are being offered to you. You have everything you need to seize them, yet in order to honor them, you must put in the time, exchange your experience and skills, and commit heart and soul to what you're choosing to pursue. You can do it. You have what it takes to be successful if you align with the law of giving and receiving. You must engage in a dance of give and take, push and pull, doing and being. If you let fear guide your choices, you could deplete yourself or create an imbalance. This is not a time of just do. Use your currency wisely and be mindful of the value others bring to your life. That is our message for today, and it is time to go get my friend, baby Ryan, who's going to be 14 in a couple weeks. But he gets to be my baby, right? Yay! All right, guys, thank you so much. This was super fun. And, I'm going to drop in the comments a link if anybody's interested in looking into my group coaching. It's really fun. I'm loving it. Thank you, Jeannie. And the women are literally changing their lives right now, and we're going all to the next level. Thank you. You are so welcome. Thanks for encouraging me. All right, bye, guys. Love you. Oh, I just dropped the comment. By the way, Jeannie Fritch, who's on here commenting, she is a relationship and love coach, and she's doing a live presentation as a guest expert in my Magnetic Living Mastermind group, and I'm telling you guys, she's next level amazing. So she has actually been instrumental in some awesome shifts in my life. So check it out. check her out. Check out the group if you're interested in participating in her thing, in her presentation. It's Monday at 2 p.m. I believe. So join the group before that. And you can join month to month. It's $49. Oh, it was supposed to go to $74, but I have not changed it yet. So get in now before I change it. It's $49 a month. You can quit anytime, and you can, if you join now before I change it, which I was supposed to do last week, but I've been traveling, you get in, lock in $49 a month for 2018. So tell your friends, get on board, join the group. We're manifesting some awesome stuff, guys. Bye. I was watching while, oh, that's awesome, Donna. I love watching and multitasking because the message comes through exactly as we need it. Bye, guys.